Okay, so you basically know what is a server and where the code will be placed, and how the code is being distributed among the servers. Okay, so my main point here to explain this concept is nothing but we are here being a performance tester is to analyze the servers. Okay, we have to do the server monitoring by executing some business functionalities. So for execution part, we will go for some tools like IBM RPT, Load Runner, QA WebLoad, Silk Performer. All these are the different performance testing tools we have here in the market to create a load on the system. What is a system is only to create on the servers. So to create load on the servers using an application front end, we are using this performance testing tools. So that is the main reason we are going here for different kinds of tools. So before starting any performance testing project, you have to provide to the client the basic proof of concept on a tool that this is eligible or this is used to create a load on the servers. So that is an important point here. So once you understood the architecture of a system, then how the data is flowing between the servers, you will finalize the tool and you will understand how the data is flowing, and using that you will go with the next phases. Okay, any doubts here?
In real time projects, do we need to understand the architecture completely?
Of course, you have to. Yeah. Real time projects in the sense, see, suppose if you are a performance tester, okay, you are a performance tester lead and the client has given you a project, that means a web application. See, Google is an application, client has given you to test it. Okay, before starting a Google page, what you can mainly see is if you type www.google.com, you can see only the Google page. Using that, you cannot give the analysis, performance analysis of that particular application. You have to understand the back-end system. Suppose if 100 people or 1000 people or 10,000 people are using Google at a time, how is the response it is happening? Like suppose if I am also using Google and so many hits will go to Google server. Okay, so to give a clear example, what happens? Take an IRCTC website. So at the time of Toptal, how realistic is to get your page to book a ticket? Will you get it? Sometimes you won't because it is not able to bear the load. Correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so because what is happening in the background is the capacity of that particular server is very less, but the load on the system is very high. It is not able to tolerate the load on the system. So that is why it will give you 404 errors, 504 errors. The page cannot be displayed. All these are the different kinds of errors you get it the moment you access that particular website.
Yeah.
Correct? So what I mean to say here is, being a performance tester, suppose a client has given you a project to do a performance testing, your first criteria is to understand the architecture of a system. You will not understand because being a testing from coming from testing background, they'll say OBAE servers, e-business modules, some database servers. You have to understand what are the different boxes installed, how the data is flowing. That means think that you are going to book a ticket in IRCTC. Okay, from the front end, what will happen? You will just give to station, from station, and then you will click search. The moment you are searching, what is happening? It will give you a list. Correct? So in the back end, what is happening? It will go to DB server from the front end, from the web server. It is going to application server using a logic called, that is logic search is happening, and then it is going to DB server. There it is grabbing all the list related search criteria which is satisfying the search criteria, and it will give you the list of stations, trains, correct?
Yeah.
So what is happening here is the data is flowing from all the three boxes here. So now what your interest is, now when you are executing this particular test with 1000 people, you will see how the data is flowing between all the three missions. You have to monitor them. Suppose the moment it reached 10,000 people, what will happen is, some server might get crashed. It will not able to serve you. So to pinpoint all these bottlenecks, you have to monitor the servers during the execution.
Okay.
Okay, so during the execution, when you monitor the servers, you will understand. You will analyze the graph. So see, now the CPU has reached 90%, or now this memory utilization has gone so high. That is why. So at some point of time, it cannot handle. What will happen is it will crash. So when it is crashing, it will give you some errors on the front end saying that 404 error, page cannot be displayed. It will not work at all. Sometimes the site is down. They will say, what is this mean? What is this mean? The site is down. You cannot access it. Many times you might be seeing the banking websites also, it is down. All these errors, it is because The backend, how they are maintaining and how they are distributing the data, we have to analyze it and give it to the customer, the client, a report. Once after doing the performance testing, you have to give them a report saying that this is how your system will behave with this particular load. If you have a scalability, that means if you have a plan to increase the load, this is how it will behave. So if we provide a report to the client, based on that the client will have an idea and they will release the application into production. Clear?
Okay. Clear.
Okay, so they'll release the application into production, and then if they have any scalability issues, everything like in the production, the issue will be this, because when we are doing performance testing itself, everything we will do it. What are the different kinds of testing the client is in need? Suppose he will say that 1,000 people are my customers. You just test this application with 1,000 customers. And suppose sometimes it might get increased. Tatkal time my site will get these many 2,000 customers. You also test my site with 2,000 customers and give me a report. So all these are the requirement gathering. This is called requirement gathering phase. Okay, this is what this is why I have explained you the flow of data. So now let me explain you the phases of performance testing. Okay. Till now, any queries?
Nothing.
Rakesh, no?
No, basically no, but I just have a doubt, like as we said, we should understand the architecture of the system once
Yes.
we do the performance testing.
Yeah.
Should we go and design based on the architecture, or should we go and design based on the client's requirements?
See, basically the designing part is not in our hands, because when the application is before going into production.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Let me rephrase the question. Like I'm by the word design, I mean like when we start designing our performance test cases, whether we start testing, we should go with the architecture, like what is the application, what is the web server, and what is the database server, whether we have any load balancer in between, or whether we just go and get the requirements which are getting gathered from the client side, like he wants this much users to be tested and like that.
See, before coming to that, there is a relation between the back end and the front end. Okay, to finalize this, what we have to consider is, you have to understand the architecture, as well as you have to understand the business critical scenarios. Okay, what is a business critical scenario is nothing but, suppose if you are going to any flight booking website, booking a flight is a mandatory scenario, searching a flight is a mandatory scenario. Okay, and itinerary check, like once a ticket is booked, invoice, they have to get it. So these are the important scenarios. These are the important functionalities based on that particular website. Okay, so once you are finalized with the functionalities, you have to understand while doing this functionality how the data is flowing in the backend. That you will understand once you know the architecture.
Okay.
So first we have finalized the business critical scenarios, and then we will discuss with the business experts and we'll confirm with them that these are enough, or do you want any extra things like business critical. Each time we get, because being a performance tester, what is the first thing we get is only 2.5 months to 3 months is our project. Beyond that we will not get any project, because they will be in a very hurry to make that application live. So what they'll do, they'll just give us only 3 months of time, and each time we have to understand the application again and again. So each time it will be new. So we cannot concentrate on that application. So before we commencing the project, we have to discuss with developers and the business analyst to get an idea on the requirements. They will tell us that these are the business critical scenarios. So inside that you will grab suppose 10 to 15 scenarios and you will take it out. So once you took the business critical scenarios, you will understand the architecture and how the data is flowing for these scenarios in the backend. So once these are in sync, then you will proceed with the next steps. Okay.
Yeah.
Did I answer your question, Rakesh?
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
So why did I ask that question? Because since we Sandhya, let me clarify. Like since I am from this performance monitoring side, so we don't know what the system exactly is having there. So we do have this day-to-day performance administration. So whenever we have a problem, we have to dig in and find where exactly it lies, whether it is in the application business logic or even in the web server, or even in the accounting side like the caching. So all these things happened, and one day, so I just went back to the project management and asked for the performance testing details, like so that if I could have a baseline, then I can start from there. What is their expectation?
Okay.
So the answer I got is like the performance test has been not about the architecture at all, but the client will gather, or client will just give him the expectation what exactly the user needs. So he wants 10 users at a time to enter into some scenario, we have to do that, but we are ignorant of architecture. So that's why I suddenly put up that question. But anyway, the answer is fine from that.
Okay, because I know, because what they actually do is the performance monitoring team is a next team to us. Okay, what they actually do is will pinpoint the exact problem in the server, and they are there to just fix them. Okay, once they fix the issues, again we have to do the entire phases of testing, and we will again tell them the feedback. So once it is solved, then and there it is solved. Otherwise, we have to run it into cycles. You will be fixing, and we will be doing again the project in a cycles.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Okay, so this is how suppose if the client is from performance testing background, client will give you that these many number of users and then these many number of tests I am planning. Suppose think that client is from non-performance testing background. He is from non-performance testing. What he'll say? He'll just say to you that can you please do a performance testing on this particular application. Okay, he'll not understand the technical terms of performance testing also. He'll just say that you do the performance testing and you'll just submit me the report. That's it. So at that time, you have to go and talk to many different people within a team, within that entire project to gather the information. Okay, so let me just explain you, like I am a client and you two are the performance lead and the tester. Okay, you are the performance testers and I am giving you an application. So I gave you an application of e-commerce application where you can go and buy some goods like a Colgate, paste, oil and all these are the goods. That is my website, and I gave you like this is the website to you to do the performance testing. So what are the questions you might ask me? Like you can give a basic questions. Any questions? I told you to do a performance testing of the e-commerce website and I gave you a website. So what questions you might ask me?
I would ask what is the business transactions, I mean, which are important and critical in this side. And at the time, from the client side, I will try to gather what would be the bottlenecks, what he is expecting, like a login part or like an e-commerce transaction wherever the payment is coming out. And even the response time of the static pages, everything I'm told.
Okay, Vinod, his name is Vinod. Sorry, the other name? Hello?
Hi, Sanjay.
Sorry, I forgot your name. May I know your name?
Vijay.
Vijay, right? Vijay.
Yes.
Okay. Vijay, what would you ask?
What are the critical transactions and what are the timings that you will use, and what is how many users will access?
Okay.
And
yeah, what you said is exactly correct. Okay, but if the client is from performance testing background, you can ask these questions. But think that the client is from non-performance testing background, he doesn't know anything about it. He's just a manager, he'll just read the reports and send the reports, that's it. So whom will you go and ask the questions and what questions will you ask?
I will ask the architects.
Correct. So at that time, what you have to do is you have to just ask them like who are the architect, the person background architects or the developers of the application, because they'll have a complete idea on the functionality. So you have to go and approach them, get all the details. If he is not known, the top client, then you have to go and ask these details, go and sit with them and understand the functionality and understand the architecture. This is what you have to do. So the first we have to do is the moment you get a project, you have to do a test plan preparation. Okay, in the test plan preparation, what you will do is you will have the complete information. What is the project background? What is in scope? What is out of scope? How many testers you are recruiting? What tool you have finalized? What are the risks? And how many tests you are going to do? What are the stress tests? What are the different kinds of testing you are doing? And when is the testing commencing? And what are the test environment size? And each and every penny detail related to your performance testing has to be listed in the test plan document. Okay, to prepare that, who is concerned person to prepare the document is a test lead. The performance test lead is the person who has to prepare the document and get a sign off from the client before proceeding with the project. Okay, so before proceeding the project, to get all the information, like you might be asking me like all this information, from whom you have to get it, this complete information. Yes, you have to get it, and it is your responsibility. Like each person will be the topper. See, business analyst is the person who will know the business critical scenarios, and the development person who will know the background architecture, and architects will know the background, the complete architecture. So each person will be expert in one particular field. You have to go and sit with all these people and gather the requirements, and you have to put it in a single Word document, like the format each client and each project will have. So all these things has to be placed in a single Word document, and you have to share this entire document with the client. Okay, then what they will do is they will just see all the details and the funding, the billing information, everything they'll see. If it is okay, they'll give you sign off. Any doubts in this?
No. Is there any name for that document, like business requirement document, or like our software?
No, that is called test plan document. That's it.
Okay.
NFT test plan document. It is we call performance testing as non-functional testing. Okay, we have two kinds of testing. We have functional testing and non-functional testing. Functional testing is nothing but the complete. One second. Okay, are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so non-functional testing is something related to some which we check basically the non-functional side. That means the performance, the security testing. All these are the different kinds of testings which comes under non-functional testing. Functional testing is purely just checking whether the input is provided and whether the expected output is coming or not. Like functionality, we check. If search is happening, it has to only search the results, and like basically we do only the functionality check in the functional testing. We use like automation tools like QTP, Selenium, or these are the functional testing tools. But coming to this performance testing, it comes under non-functional testing. Okay, so so this document is called NFT test plan. Okay, in this test plan, once you get a sign.
Oh, it
Yes,
is non-functional testing, NFT test plan.
Yeah, NFT test plan.
Oh.
Okay, so once you get the NFT test plan document signed off, next you will proceed with your project. So inside the document you will have all the business critical scenarios. Okay, once you get all the business critical scenarios, you have to manually go and check whether you can do that particular scenarios in that application, because you have to get a dummy credentials, test data, like you have to get a login credentials for that website, right, application. So you will get all the information from the developers, from